Hey, it's Lauren. Thank you so much for joining me. In this video, I am going to be talking all about my evening skincare routine. I just wanted to share some of the things that I have been using and loving. And just for context, concerns for me are hydration, I guess anti-aging, just, you know, keeping things youthful and glowy and bright, and also keeping sort of reversal of sun damage and whatnot. And then last sort of note I wanted to make before I actually get into the video is it is kind of a bougie routine. I have quite a few higher priced items in here, and then there are several things in here that have been gifted to me because I do have a YouTube channel, as you obviously can tell because you're watching it. So I'm really lucky that I, even at my small percentage, get sent products. So I just wanted to put that out there. I always denote that kind of stuff down below. But anyways, I'm gonna hop into it, and I'm gonna start out talking about cleansers. So I do double cleanse. A couple of like first step cleansers that I really love and I keep kind of circling back into. This one I've mentioned several times. This is the Live Botanical Luna Lemon Balm and Hemp Seed Nourishing Cleansing Oil. This is a really lovely cleansing oil. This does such a really great job of removing makeup without stripping the skin. So really actually great during this time of year if it's kind of drier or if my skin's getting kind of irritated, because it does have the lemon balm in it, which is really healing. Actually, it's a really nice kind of healing selection of ingredients in it. And then the one that I haven't mentioned, this is the Jane Scrivner Nourishing Cleansing Balm. This actually was in the January Beauty Heroes box. This brand is definitely kind of a cult beauty brand in terms of like indie and eco and green beauty scene. I've seen this brand around for a while, and the cleansing balm is definitely one of the things that always gets mentioned. It's a pretty simple ingredients list. It smells really lovely. It has like a lemongrass, sandalwood, like orange blossom scent. Very, very relaxing to use. It's one of those types of cleansing balms that you use on dry skin and work it across, and then you need to remove it with a warm washcloth. Things like, I'd say like the Farmacy cleansing balm, that one you can just wash away with water. This one you really need a cloth to remove. So if that's not a step that you're into doing, this wouldn't be for you. But if that is something that you can do that step with, does a really good job of removing makeup. It has the, I think, jojoba and beeswax base, and jojoba is just one of those ingredients, like that and squalene are two of the type of oils that get related to being closer to like the sebum composition on our face. So it's supposed to be like one of the more gentler situations for cleansing and moisturizing with. So it does have a lot of omegas in it. It's got vitamin, I think like A, E, and probably a bunch of other stuff that I'm not remembering across the top of my head. But I've really enjoyed this. It's quite a good cleanser. And then the Glossier Milky Jelly Cleanser. I use this as both a first and a second cleanse at night. Sometimes I will just do my skincare at the sink, and then I'll use like one of these first cleanses and then use something like this as my second cleanse. But also sometimes I just need an evening shower from the day. So this is something that I often use in the shower if I've forgotten to put on one of these before I've hopped in. Simple, kind of a classic at this point, basic cleanser. It's one of those good things for me to reach for when my skin's acting up. Really gentle, nice pH, does the job. In the past, I've been much more like dedicated to toners, using things that are hydrating or have like a certain kind of function to them. But lately, I've just been using some sort of mist to help with application of whatever kind of serum or treatment I'm going to be using. So these are the two that I've been bouncing between. This one is the Eve L'Homme Radiance Face Mist. It was a very expensive mist that I did get gifted. It's got a really nice mist on it, and it is actually quite hydrating. It's got white algae in it as well as wild indigo extract, and it's supposed to help with, you know, like free radical damage and stuff like that. It feels very hydrating for just being a mist, which is really nice. Sometimes the mists can be a little bit more of like a little aromatic kind of sandwich between helping layer on products, but this one actually gives like a really solid good amount of moisture on it. So I'll even actually spritz that on at the end of my routine if I want something else. So this I actually got a little bit ago. This is from Wabi Sabi Botanicals. It is the Offering, the Ageless Ritual Face Mist, and it's a pretty simple ingredients list, as most Wabi Sabi Botanicals products are. They don't have like a crazy long list of them, which I really appreciate, and they do a really lovely job with sourcing, as well as like using very fair trade, as well as like woman sort of fair wage sourcing. I totally just abbreviated and butchered that, but they also do microloan giving with 10% of their profits. Really just butchered saying all of the nice things that they do. But this is a blend of orange blossom and frankincense hydrosols. It's got a nice bit, just like a tiny bit of moisture. It's a little bit more of that like toning kind of side, so it's gonna be nowhere near something like this, but it smells really lovely, and it does help if I'm using a thicker oil to help kind of really work it in, or if I'm doing any kind of mask situation. I have a tendency of not fully paying attention sometimes, and then if I'm using any kind of treatment related skincare, I'll accidentally get it in this eye area, and my eye area, my under eye and my upper lid are very sensitive. So I've gotten into the habit of doing my eye cream as soon as possible to help protect that area, so don't accidentally burn myself with like an AHA or a retinol. So this is actually something that was gifted to me from Caudalie / Octalie. It's the Premier Cru, the eye cream. They have a lot of their stuff is, well, not a lot, all of their stuff comes from their grapes at their vineyards, and I think it's more than 2. I think it's 3. There might even be 4 different patents that they have off of their grapes that are used to like be a center of their skincare. So there's like Venifern, which is the one that's I think mainly used for like brightening, and then there's one that's used to like firming. So they have a few different ones. This guy has both of those, so it's supposed to be one of those eye creams that helps with puffiness, dark circles, wrinkles, and hydration. So it does its job. It does have caffeine in it, and it's supposed to, you know, do all those like anti-aging things that every eye cream promises, but it does a good job of moisturizing, and it feels good. It lays well under makeup, and I do feel like my under eyes have been brighter lately, but I also have been drinking a lot more water. I know everybody says like makes a joke about, oh, I just drink a lot of water to fix my skin. But for me, when I have not been eating well, and when I have been not drinking the best water, or the best water, the most amount of water, I have the best words, or getting the most sleep, it really shows on my under eyes. And I've been really good about my water lately anyways, as well as this has been helpful. Okay, moving on from there. So next up, I'm gonna be talking about treatments and then like oils and moisturizers. Now, I kind of do these in different orders depending on the night. For treatments, I want to usually do those as quickly as possible before I'll put on any kind of moisturizer, so then I can really get it into the skin. So I have still been really enjoying using the Farmacy Honeymoon Glow. So this is a blend of AHAs, and it's got, well, it's a blend of AHAs, and I think it's got 1 BHA. The AHAs come from like a variety of like fruit extracts, as well as glycolic and lactic acid, and then I think the lactic acid comes from the honey that is used in this, and then the BHA in it is from willow bark, which is like salicylic acid. So this does a really good job of keeping congestion away from me, as well as brightening. I don't use this as quite as often as I did a little while ago because of the next product I'm going to be talking about, but I still use this probably once a week. It is really intense. I've definitely built up to using it, but my skin really agrees with it. And I'd say along my chin is one of the areas I'm most prone to congestion. And when I see that kind of like percolating back up, I'll reach for this guy again, and I wake up the next day and things are looking a little bit more smoother. So it's very great for brightening, kind of evening skin tone, as well as just, you know, a general good amount of exfoliation. So this is kind of like my newest favorite thing. This is from African Botanics. It is the Resurrection Cell Recovery Serums. This was gifted to me. One of the founders of Boxwalla reached out to me and wanted to send me a couple of the boxes that they had created recently. And this is the first product from one of their boxes that I have really given enough time to talk about, and this is a really special product. Now, it is insanely expensive. African Botanics has always been a brand that I've wanted to try because out of all the kind of crazy expensive, like Indian green and just, well, luxury beauty, this is one of the brands I have just like time and time again have just read the most amazing reviews about. So this is a pretty great multi-purpose serum. It's one of those like anti-aging, like lifting, firming, and hydrating serums. So it does a lot in it. It has a lot of different really beautiful ingredients in it. It's got the resurrection plant, which is like what the name comes from, which is actually this like type of plant that's in the desert that kind of always looks like really shriveled up. But then when it does get water, it really flourishes and becomes this like giant fold out thing. It's got that in there, so it helps to recuperate. And it's got peptides and plant retinol. It has argan and marula. It has a really like thin, like clear gel texture. So I'll take about 1 to 2 pumps and spread that across my face, and it sinks in really quickly without leaving any kind of residue. I have found this to be rather gentle. I haven't used this every night, but I have been using it several times a week pretty frequently. Now, it doesn't really give much moisture, so it's something I will top off with something else, but I have seen just like a really nice clarity to my skin, a brightness, just a general even tone. So next up, I'm going to get into a couple of oils that I have been really loving. Again, I have still been enjoying using the Plum Beauty Oil. This is 100% plum oil. It's really rich in vitamin A, so it's a really great antioxidant rich kind of cell collagen boosting, rejuvenating nighttime vitamin A anti-aging oil, and it smells like marzipan. So I know I've talked about this oil a lot, so I won't talk too much more about it. But 2 other oils that I have been using quite a bit, they're actually a similar color, although you can't see inside this one. This one is also bright golden color, but this is actually just a mini of the Herbivore Phoenix Regenerating Facial Oil. I have been just using this one at night because it is kind of a thicker oil. It's based in jojoba, but it has a blend of rosehip, sea buckthorn, chia seed, CO2, as well as neroli and I think meadow foam. This is a nice regenerating, like omega rich oil. It's got ALAs as well as also the vitamin A in it, so it's a very healing, regenerating oil. I don't tend to reach for this if I have any kind of congestion or breakouts going on, because I do find it to be a little bit on the heavier side. But if my skin is maybe like sensitive, but not necessarily in the breakout way, but just like dry and needing a little extra boost, or it's at the point where breakouts are healing, this is something that I would reach for. It does need a little help being worked into the skin, so it is something that I will like make sure I have used some kind of mist with to like really help massage in. And then next up, this is another item from Wabi Sabi Botanicals. This is the Light Renewal. It is really rich in vitamin A and omegas. This is a blend of a lot of really beautiful oils. It also actually has sea buckthorn oil in it as well, but this just does a really good job of like helping with dark spots and just kind of evening and just general brightness. So it also does a really good job of helping with like any sort of redness or inflammation that I have, just like a general good kind of helping with clarity to skin. I'll also often reach for this in the morning time, and it actually has a really beautiful like sweet fruity scent that is actually from one of the oils in here. It's not anything added. And then I have both an evening time mask as well as a balm that I've been using a lot. So this one is another item from Beauty Heroes. I can't remember if this was the December or the November box, but this is the Inlight Line Softener. So this balm is geared towards being anti-aging. It's supposed to help with rejuvenating, clarity, wrinkles, sort of collagen production, sort of help with free radical damage and like dark spots. It has a really great mix of ingredients in it. It has spirulina extract, evening primrose, as well as carrot oil, argan, as well as some really healing stuff in there like horsetail and calendula. It does have quite an interesting scent that I think some people will love and some will hate. It's like a mix of geranium and patchouli. So it's a really concentrated formula. So I just need the tiniest bit and I can work that all across my face. And it actually even works really nicely without any irritation around the eye area. It's quite soothing. So this is something that I will kind of like top off at the end of a routine if I'm feeling a little bit indulgent, but also if I'm feeling rather lazy and not wanting to do much besides like cleanse. I will cleanse and then do a bit of misting on my face and then work the balm on, because I can also use that around the eyes, and then I'm done. And then last but not least, I wanted to talk about the January Labs Moisture Renew Mask. So this is a moisturizing mask that you can use during the day. You can pretty much just leave it on. You can also use it as an overnight mask, so basically you can just use it as a moisturizer. It has a really nice mix of avocado, squalene in there. It's got green tea and cucumbers, so it's just like a really nice calm, oh, it also has chamomile, like calming, anti-inflammatory, just very moisturizing product. It actually isn't overly thick or anything. It sinks in. When I got it, I thought it was going to be a little bit thicker, maybe similar to like the Summer Fridays mask, but it's a lot more lightweight and like, well, just silky and really sinks in. It doesn't leave behind a cast or anything on the skin. So it's really good for layering on top if, say, I've done kind of like a heavier routine and I want to kind of top everything off and like keep everything kind of like nice and cocooned on my skin, but I don't want to go in with anything too heavy. This is really great for that. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any more questions about some of these products, let me know down below and I'll do my best to answer those in a timely fashion. But I hope you're having a really great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.